And the race will be the same. The only salvation right now is a gentle breeze caressing some 100,000 gathered to see this great spectacle. We're anticipating one of the finest races of the entire Winston Cup schedule here at Talladega, Alabama.
In 105 races at Talladega, nearly 50 drivers have won at the racetrack. Dale Earnhardt the most at 10, Harry Gant the oldest at 51, and Bobby Hillin Jr. the youngest at 22 years old. At the time of his only career victory, Hillin had set the record for youngest winner in NASCAR Cup Series history. Now may remember Bobby Hillin, or ever choose to talk about his over 350 Cup starts, all under the age of 40. His career is a unique one that deserves a closer look.
Rusty Wallace is there, Jim Richmond, here they come driving for the finish. This will go down as the all-time incredible finish at Talladega. On the outside, Wallace moving, Hillin stays first, Richmond drops on the inside, in the 25, to the tri-oval, here they come, for the line, Hillin wins it! Car number 8, Bobby Hillin, at 22 years of age, has won the $500,000 Talladega 500.
Robert K. Hillin Jr. was born June 5, 1964, in the town of Midland, Texas. Hillin had deep roots in racing. His father, Robert Hillin Sr., owned a USAC team called Longhorn Racing. The team ran from 1976 to 1979 and saw moderate success. Drivers George Snyder, Cliff Huckel, John Opperman, Tom Bagley, and Bubby Jones wheeled the Longhorn team to decent success, but they never won a race. Soon, though, young Bobby Jr. began his racing career and won the track championship at Odessa Speedway at just the age of 16. His father, noticing his son's talent, soon shut down the team and sent Bobby Jr. to the Buck Baker Driving School. It wasn't long after that by the age of 17 he'd make his Cup Series debut, still being 2 months away from a legal adult. His first start came at North Wilkesboro Speedway in 1982 in a car owned by his father. They were somehow able to hire Harry Hyde to crew chief the car and prepare it for the young Bobby. And in his first start, he came home 21st, only 22 laps down and still running. Realizing the potential of their stock car career, the family moved to North Carolina, even though Bobby was still attempting to complete his high school education. A day after his 18th birthday, Bobby took on the 2.5-mile menace at Pocono, where he blew up early and finished 36th. However, in his other 3 starts at Michigan, Daytona, and Talladega, he finished top 20 in all of them. The team committed to attempting half the schedule for 1983, where Bobby made 12 of the 15 races they entered. In those 12 starts, Bobby finished top 26 times and had a career-best pair of 11th place finishes, and one of them came in the Coca-Cola 600, where Bobby had just a day prior graduated from high school. With not even being 20 years old and having 20-plus starts worth of experience in the Cup Series, along with multiple good runs, Hillin was hired by a new startup team, Stavola Brothers Racing. The team had potential for 1984, and they decided to attempt about 2/3 of the schedule this time, and had legendary crew chief Jake Elder at the helm of the operation. They again had moderate success, but in 1985, at the age of 20, they committed to the full season. Jake Elder started the year with the team, but then, in the most Jake Elder fashion possible, he left the team after 6 races. They put together 5 top 10 runs with a career best 8th at Martinsville, and at the season's end, the team was gathering momentum, and then Bobby got his biggest break. Miller American jumped on board to Stavola to sponsor the team for 1986. On top of that, Stavola would run a secondary car with NASCAR legend Bobby Allison alongside Hillin for 1986. Hillin, still only 21, was prepped for what could be the biggest year of his career, and it was. Bobby Allison would the team its first race at Talladega in the spring, and a few months later, Bobby Hillin would win them their second race at the very same track.
In the winner's circle, the youngest winner of the Talladega 500 is standing by from Midland, Texas, Bobby Hillin Jr.
Hey, Bobby, what a day, huh?
Hey, I got to thank the Lord for a good, safe race and for bringing my career so far. This Miller American Buick ran super, and thank Miller, the beer, Buick, all pros, Stavola Brothers.
Still got some air, huh?
My grandfather, who got me started, who's here today, Arian Hillin, my dad back home, all of them has been great to me. And Ron Purrier and Billy Woodruff, my crew chief and team manager, and all the Stavola Brothers Miller American crew. I can't believe it.
Hillin surprisingly kept up with the veteran Allison for this season and finished 9th, only 2 spots behind Allison in points. Hillin, on top of his win, had 4 top 5s and 14 top 10s. He had finished 4th in the 500 that year and had run consistent all season. 1987 seemed only to get brighter for the Stavola team, but the results waned. Allison stayed relatively on par with what he did in 1986, but Hillin had only 1 top 5 in 1987 and 4 top 10s. He plummeted from 9th to 19th in overall standings, and an average finish of 19.8. Performance got better for Hillin in 1988, but for the team, things got much worse. Bobby Allison would have his career ended in a crash at Pocono, sending the second team into disarray. Hillin's team would become the primary focus, and while he finished 12th overall in standings, the team was in confusion of what to do next. They turned to legend Dick Trickle to run the second car, who officially ran for the Rookie of the Year at age 47, running his first ever full-time season at that age. The teams would only finish 15th and 16th in standings, and even though the Cup results may have waned slightly, Hillin was still performing well in Busch. He had won 2 races in the division during this time, but still, the pressure of being a Cup champion was getting to him. Being viewed as a NASCAR winner and a veteran of the series at only the age of 25 was difficult on Bobby, and after a disappointing 1990 season, he officially left Stavola's team, ending a 7-year tenure. After he left, Stavola would never win a race again. Their only top 20 points finish after 1990 was with Sterling Marlin in 1993. In 1991, Hillin hit the reset button on his Cup career and took a ride with Dick Moroso. Moroso had just lost his son the year prior and didn't really know what to do with the team after his loss. He entered 2 cars into the 500 with Bobby in the number 27 with a remembrance of Rob Moroso's scheme and Sammy Swindell in the number 20. Hillin miraculously not only made the race, but finished 7th in the car, giving the team its best finish ever. The impressive run gave Hillin the 20 car full-time in 1991, and he ran decent for the first 10 races, only finishing outside the top 20 once, a 21st at Atlanta. He then was hired to drive 2 races for Jimmy Means, where he again finished 19th and 21st. He was then tabbed to replace Kyle Petty while he sat out with an injury. While his only top 10 across the entire season came in the 500, Hillin ran top 20 almost every race, besides when he blew an engine and wrecked at Michigan, Bristol, and Pocono. After Kyle Petty returned though, Hillin was officially out of a ride. Across the 3 teams he had ran for in 1991, he had somehow positioned himself 17th in overall driver standings, but with no offers, he sat out till the end of the year and plummeted to nearly 30th in points. By the end of the year, he did get a ride from the 53 car for 3 races, but for 1992, Hillin had nothing. Eventually, Hillin went with Team Ireland for the 1992 season, and overall, it was a mess. And after Team Ireland shut down following a disqualification in the Fall Charlotte race, Hillin again was on the sidelines. But then he got tabbed by NASCAR legacy owner Junie Donlavey to drive his 90 car. They debuted in the infamous 1992 Hooters 500, where he blew up and finished 30th. They decided to run the full season in 1993, and even though Donlavey was a veteran of the sport, he hadn't run a full schedule with a consistent driver in over 5 years. Hillin finished 27th in points with no top 10s, and in 1994, Hillin willingly left the team after a few races, and once again, he was left searching for a ride. Hillin ran part-time in 1994 and 95, only achieving 1 top 10 during this time, a 9th at Atlanta. He was driving the number 7 DK Ulrich car, and Hillin was offered that car full-time in 1996. They attempted the whole season and DNQ'd 6 races. He ran the car for the first half of 1997, was eventually released, and in 1998 and 99 he went down to the Busch Series and ran for a team part owned by him and Robert Hayes, with which his best finish was a 2nd at Dover. Through 1998 to 2000 he ran mediocre in the Busch Series, and in 2000 his last start in the Cup Series came at Bristol for Melling, where he finished 40th, replacing an injured Stacy Compton. After completing the rest of the 2000 Busch season, Bobby Hillin Jr. announced his retirement from stock car racing. Hillin at age 37 had already had a near 20-year career in stock car racing, and after his retirement, he decided to go back home and start his own business in the state of Texas. During the 2000s, he built a successful career, and he never thought about racing again until 2008, where he returned to the Nationwide Series for a one-off at Kansas. He drove for Pat McDonald's team, and they ended up finishing 36th. The next year in 2009, At the age of 45, Bobby Hillin Jr. made his last start again for Pat McDonald. He started 42nd and finished 23rd, 33 laps down. Hillin, now at the age of 57 years old, lives in his home state of Texas, running his own private business.